Hey everybody, how's it going out there? You know what we're doing today. Hold on, let me refresh this screen so it doesn't look like a big dark mess. All right, what's up everybody? We are live and we are on Facebook, we are on Twitch, and we are on YouTube. And let's see, we already got some people up in the chat. Keith Carmona, what is going on? Oh, he's actually, hold on, he's actually here. Okay. I was like just talking about how you're in the chat. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it was, it was an early day, kind of got out a little early and stuff. Hopefully my voice isn't too echoey because, well, there's nothing in my house, but
Yeah, you're getting ready to make a move there. If I'm not correct,
yeah.
if I'm not saying anything out of, if I'm not sure if that's
No, that's totally fine.
I did read a review actually of yours today.
Oh, really?
For Night Owl 2-in-1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, is that old?
Well, I did it a while ago, but I don't know. To me, it seemed like a while ago, but yeah, no, it was it's a fun comic, and if people out there haven't gotten to it again, Jason did the artwork for for the 2-in-1. So if you can find a copy, get your hands on it. It's a really fun comic. It's pretty enjoyable, and some great artwork by.
Oh, thanks.
That
I know
over
which
here.
way.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
guy right there.
Yeah. High five.
Something like that.
So yeah, we are on the last hour. We're less than an hour now, and from closing up the Genesis #2 campaign, I am overwhelmed at what this campaign has done. I'm honored, and I thank you all for the support, including you, Keith.
Yep.
You were one of the first ones up there, so thank you so much for supporting the campaign.
Absolutely.
These things are a little rough when you're doing them. So every time someone gives you support, well, you gave a lot of support, but every time everyone gives a little support, it's just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, it goes to the whole idea of what Scattered Comics is, right? Bringing new, interesting, inventive stories to the forefront. Stories you're not going to find anywhere else, with a great crew of artists that not only support each other, but we got a great community of people that support us also, and obviously like what we're doing and stuff. I mean, this campaign, like 7,000. I mean, that's really good, man. That is awesome.
It's overwhelming to be honest, but yeah, it's not, Genesis is I would say the title that I do that is not as, I guess, popular as like Shadowhunters or something.
Right.
A little less of some of the things that Shadowhunters is well known for, but yeah, it's definitely to the and I don't draw this when I write it, so I feel you on when you do a comic book and you're the writer and it does so well. You're like, well, they must like the story a little bit, so
Yeah.
And,
I think.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I just got my Panda Days package, and I was kind of like noticing, all the different artists and stuff that you brought on board for your books and your stories and things like that. And I think that's one of the great things about getting in on a Scattered Comic campaign is you're going to get a multitude of artists and things like that doing like their own take on the artwork and things like that. Obviously, Genesis is another one in line there where you get a lot of different creators, whether it's some original work by yourself or Darth Sarge obviously doing a lot of the work in this one and things like that. Noel doing his work, and I mean it's so awesome. It's almost like you're getting one story, but you're almost getting like different views of it. And for me, as someone who really appreciates a good story, I really like seeing that the visuals and the story from like different perspectives and different ways of seeing the artwork too.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. When I have another artist do, draw, you write the story and then you give it to the artist and you watch their interpretation and their take on it. And sometimes it's like, wow, that's actually better than I was actually thinking. They actually went with that, and I always love.
Isn't that a great feeling, though?
It is.
It really is.
It's almost like they care more about your story than you do, and it's great. It's awesome. I love it. They get very serious about it, and it shows in the artwork. So yeah, definitely. Speaking of comic books, and I know you just wrapped up your campaign, which was also a success. What do you have on the horizon?
Well, I got to move first, but
Right.
We had we wrapped up Dr. Dream earlier a couple months ago. So I put all that together in a trade back, and so that's now published through Barnes and Noble actually. And one of our Scattered Comic creators also, Rena, Miss Misery, has done some publishing, some engagements and things like that with Barnes & Noble also. So right now it's in a couple of contests. So it won one contest. I put the announcement on that on my Instagram, but it's got another one coming up this summer. And so I'm probably going to, kind of get back into doing some more writing and stuff probably this fall. And I know you want to start doing some drawing and stuff for me.
Yes.
So I've got a little something in mind. Not gonna reveal it now.
Okay.
But we'll talk a little bit later on and stuff. I gotta get out of here and move and all that stuff.
You gotta take care of you gotta get your house in order, so to speak.
Right. There's a heck ain't here.
Wow, you could have a little nightclub in there right now. Just get a little disco
nightclub
ball
with 2 cats. Right.
Got enough room. All right. So, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, Dr. Dream. Right. Yeah. So that wrapped up. And so you have a trade of that. Oh, Barnes and Noble. That's what I was going to ask. So how did you get involved with Barnes and Noble?
Okay, so that started back. Obviously, I'm in my last year of teaching at Mariloma, but I was looking for ways that my creative writers could actually go perform their pieces, right? And there's a couple of venues around Sacramento that were open to that, but I asked Barnes and Noble. I'm like, you guys have that like little stage there, the kids area. I mean, have you ever done readings before? And they're like, oh yeah, we do that. We like to usually couple it up with like a book selling fundraiser kind of thing. So we coupled our book selling fundraiser with doing some, students coming up there actually reciting their works and things like that, their poems and poetry and things like that. And they were just a great group to work with and stuff. And hopefully Raina could come on and talk a little bit as well about the fact that they're just really open and receptive to local artists and local authors and stuff. And I definitely see, doing, kind of a signing with my trade backs later on. We're probably going to do probably a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe with it, with that a little bit later on after the contests get over and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, you could print your books, you can set up a table, you can sign them there. I mean, it's a great deal, and I don't think it costs you anything to do that. So
how did you get involved? You were just because I know there's other creators out there that they're like, Barnes and Noble, how do you get his stuff in there? Like, what besides this talking to them, is there a way to do that? Is there an easy way? Is it a hard way? Do you have to know somebody?
Each store has their own like community or marketing person that you work with, and you just need to talk to that person, and they're the ones that are in charge of bringing authors in to sign books and things like that. It does help if you have published a book through their press, but you don't necessarily have to per se. They just like to really bring in like local artists and local creators to be able to showcase their work. And you can usually leave like several copies of your book after you're done signing for, and you'll
Right.
have like
That's always a good
there's a
idea.
special area for local creators and artists and things like that. So like I said, they're just really great to work with. So yeah, you want to call Barnes and Noble and ask for the marketing or community outreach person, and they're the ones who usually do like all the book fairs and things like that. They organize that as well. So yeah,
Because I think a lot of us are always looking for ways to get our books out there. And
yep,
I know Amazon, putting it on Amazon.com uh, is a pain. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but it's changed quite a lot through the
yeah.
years, and now it's like I don't know what they're doing over there. But
I
Barnes and
I I
Nobles,
just Yeah, I don't go through Amazon anymore. I know it's really popular because their shipping and stuff for their books is cheaper and that kind of thing. You are going to pay just a little bit more with Barnes and Noble, but to be honest with you, it was so easy now. But you're right. I mean, Amazon is getting real picky about formatting and stuff. I'll be honest with you. I actually tried putting my collected Dr. Dream, train back and try to do it through Amazon, and they rejected it like 3 times. And I said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Well, you've
right?
got like lettering in the borders," and it's like it's a trade back. It kind of does that sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
I
everything
mean,
has to.
you're laughing too. I mean, you know what I'm talking
I
about
know
because
exactly
it's
what
just like,
you're talking about. It's and we've already printed our book, so we know that you can print these files and it's going to work.
yeah,
Like, so we know. Yeah, I know. And it's almost
it,
like I
it
always feel like I'm talking to or not even talking. I'm getting a robot that's telling me this is wrong, this is wrong, and it's like
yeah,
I don't know.
because they're going through a standard set of, well, this is what a book and margin should look like.
Right,
It's not really conditioned to a trade back per se.
right.
You've got to fit everything inside the white border and stuff. You can't have any speech bubbles leak out or any kind of a special effect kind of go off to the side or anything like that. Um,
Yeah, no, I feel you. So yeah, so I've been looking for different revenue, different not revenue, different places to venues to put the books. And when you were
I'll
talking
send
about,
you a link later on to the main
yeah,
page. You
definitely,
check it out.
definitely do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I'll make sure to put all your information in the links in the description after this
Oh,
we go live. I mean, after this is done. Um,
cool.
that way, people can contact you or check out some of your. He's got a lot of great videos on YouTube. Everybody, if
Uh,
you're a writer out there and looking to write comic books, he has a whole series of how to write for comics videos. You got to check those out. They're amazing.
yeah, you
Um,
just go to scattercomics.com, hit my profile, Keith Carmona, and they're all lined up there. Jason does a good job
oh,
getting those links
forgot
in
about
there. So,
Scatter. Yeah, you can go to the main scattercomics.com and it's got links to everybody. But
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the easy way to do it for sure. Um, but yeah, I'll also put direct links in the description of this video, so
Awesome.
because that's always cool.
Yeah, we're
Um,
gonna try to get that trade back up for like a discounted rate too. So
oh, nice.
yeah,
So and that's probably another thing. Barnes and Noble will probably be more receptive to trade backs, not single floppy books.
right, exactly. And that's I was asking my daughter because she got the Panda Days trade back first. And oh, hi, Head Ninja.
Hey,
Good
Head
seeing you.
Ninja, what's up, brother?
All right. But she said she really liked that trade back. She's like, yeah, it's really fun, like having like what is that, like 5 issues or something like that, like
That
combined
was
into one.
5 books. You know, I always do this. I don't know. I keep getting told that maybe it's it's not the way to go, but always when I have a set of a storyline book, like, books 1 through 5, I always do that
Yeah.
final book. I always make it a double size issue. And so it's whenever I do a trade and I go, yeah, it's like 5 books. Well, it's actually like 6 because that last issue was 2. But yeah,
You know what though? That kind of goes back to God. You remember, like, was it back in the 70s or maybe it was the early 80s or something? I don't know. I'm getting old and stuff. Where you would have like those double sized issues of Marvel or something
oh
like that.
yeah, like the
These big.
annuals, the double sized. Oh, I love those, and they weren't very
Yeah.
much. They weren't much more than a regular copy, or sometimes they wouldn't even be any more. They were just double sized issue. It's like, all right, man.
Yeah, yeah, and those are always fun because I felt like I got like more comics. I mean, it usually wasn't that much. It was maybe like what 6, 8 pages more, but just still as a kid felt great. I'm like, oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh, I can feel the difference in this book. Like, all right, 60 cents for my double size issue. Now I'll go get a hot dog for $1, and I still got 3/4 for Spy Hunter, whatever the
Yep, and then
video
that's
game
when I would
was like.
spill the mustard or the ketchup onto the comic, and
Yeah, exactly. That was like my daily morning at 7-Eleven. It's like, get a comic
Uh-huh.
book, get a hot dog, and play some Spy Hunter.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, those are good
So
times.
that's what's going on with Dr. Dream, obviously with the trade back and stuff. And actually that brings about a question. So can we expect a Genesis 3?
Yes, Genesis 3 is already been written.
Ooh.
Because this is a 3-part story. It's so if you see on the bottom of the cover, it'll say 1 of 3 or 2. This one's 2 of 3. So
Yeah.
there is a third issue. So I don't know if you do this, but I had to plan it. There's a beginning and an ending of this storyline.
Yeah.
Even though it goes from the first issue was in the 1920s, and this issue's in the 1950s. So the last issue actually takes place in the late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, okay. Groovy, man.
Yeah, yeah, right. Because when I did my Scattered Volume 1, when I first started the series, it was mid 80s, late 80s.
Yeah.
So I kind of figure along that timeline for the books. So I'm building up the storyline to go into my first Scattered book, which was in the 80s. So
Right.
I was like, okay, so I had to plan out all the timelines and how this is all going to fit correctly, because some characters age and some characters don't age.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's tricky. Like Genesis is an angel that never ages. She's always a teenage girl.
That must cause problems though.
Well, I don't know. She's immortal, so well,
I mean,
she
can you
always has
imagine being stuck in your teenage years?
yeah,
I
she's
don't want
always getting
that.
carded when she goes to the movie theater, and she she can't play the lotto, so she runs into some issues. James, what's up, brother?
James, all right.
James, feel free to jump in here if you want to. You don't have to, but
Yeah,
you've got a little. I got a little spot here for you if you want.
right down here.
James is also, for those that don't know, James Burton is also a part of Scattered Comics. He's a
Yep.
comic book writer, artist, everything really. All rolled into one. Colorist, I guess sometimes, right? Even though he's
Yeah.
more into the gray tones now, with like spots of color in it, which
Yeah.
is really cool. I really like that look.
Yeah.
But
Damon Jenkins' main series is fantastic. Ballad of Nod is coming out. That is going to be just amazing. And
oh,
that's not showing up. Oh,
there we go.
there we go. There we go.
All right, there we go.
You hold that up too close, and it just
I
all it does is
know.
the background.
James is driving. He's driving and typing. James, what are you doing? Driving to get my girl, he says. All right, brother. Well, we also got to talk. I've got, like I said, I found like about 7 copies of Damage Inc. #1 in a box. So
Wow.
I'm assuming it's from one of the comic book stores when they closed down. They sent all their back stock to me.
Yeah.
So I came across some Damage Inks, and I guess they're out of print now. So got some collector item here. So if you don't want them, James, I'll sell them on eBay. Just kidding, brother. Can't do that. So we are. What's our countdown here? 35 minutes left in the campaign, and 135 wonderful backers, strong, and yeah, it broke the 7K mark early this morning, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Oh, can
James,
we mention if James? I don't know if James is going to be able to get in time or not, but James will be appearing, I believe, at the Silver Age Comic Con in Reno, Nevada, in July. So
oh,
you want to check that out. There's going to be a lot of it's a great con. I've been 2 years in a row. Just a great group of people up there, really supportive community. They like new stories, fresh art, and of course, Scattered always delivers that. And I'm not going to be able to make it this summer, obviously.
oh, that's. I thought that's your jam over there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love going up there. So James will be representing Scattered up there in July. So you definitely want to check it out. Tickets are already on sale. They've already got some great guest speakers and guests and things like that. So it's going to be awesome as always. So.
Are you in the signing with Miss Misery at Barnes and Noble, or is that something she's doing?
Oh, she's doing that separately because she's, in the Bay Area, that kind of thing. If I were going to do that locally, I've got a Barnes and Noble here in Roseville. Unfortunately, where I'm moving to, there isn't a Barnes and Noble up there, but up that way, there's a lot of independent booksellers. I
Okay.
know we all thought they died out in the '90s, but they all just moved north.
Michael, what's up? Michael Gracia. Do you know Michael Keith?
I do not know Michael, but he just backed you.
Yeah, he just backed me. Oh, yes, he did. Wow. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. He is also a cartoonist and comic book artist.
Cool.
And he has a podcast and a show. And actually, I went on his show twice now. And James Burton, if I'm not mistaken, was just on the show as well.
Awesome.
So, Michael, I'll make sure I drop the link to your show in the description below. Or you can drop it. Are you on YouTube? He's on YouTube. Well, I will have it dropped in because I can't make him an admin right now. But I'm like, I got too many screens going on right here. I can't do it in a second. But I will. Yeah, check out Michael's show. I think it's called Get Tuned. Get Tuned. Check it out.
It's like
Diamond
Diamond
Fox.
Fox.
Hi, how are you doing today? Diamond Fox, I am doing great. We are closing out my comic book campaign, Genesis #2, over on Kickstarter. We are 32 minutes before it closes, and we are just kind of hanging out and celebrating. So
Yep.
glad that you decided to drop by, Diamond Fox, over on YouTube. And so I also had some other news that I just thought of it. Doing this campaign is like all in my head, but we also have some news on the Blinth front, another
Ooh.
scattered comic, and I don't know if you already saw that, but let me see if I can pop up something here. Let's see. Is that working? Okay. So I'll put this right here for a second. So Blinth is now in your comic book store in Anarch Press in the comic book Furlough number 195. So go check that out. I think it's 194 actually, but wait, isn't it? Anyway, Furlough from Anarch Press. Go check it out in your bookstores today. So
All right.
I wanted to share that real quick. Let me. Too many things going on here. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna go check on the comments real quick.
Sure.
All right, I think we're all caught up. So James has got his convention coming up. Rena's got her signing coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And what else is coming up? Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, that's right.
Free Comic Book Day. What is anyone doing anything for Free Comic Book Day?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that much. Yeah, I don't know. Usually, doesn't Noel usually head down to shoot?
Comics and collectibles,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then James always goes to another store. I don't know what the name is. I'm always late on Free Comic Book Day. I always wake up and it's like, oh, it's over. So, but Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May
Right.
every year. Started by Joe Fields from the comic book store in Walnut Creek.
This is a memory
Flying,
test.
Flying Colors. Flying Colors Comics. I was lucky to be at his very first Free Comic Book Day, and
Oh
then
wow.
it just took off from there and became a nationwide event, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So if you guys are looking for free comics, go to your local comic store, pick up a Blinth or a Forlo, and then be sure to get there on Saturday, the first Saturday of May, and get some free comics.
Yeah. Some of the other stores we work with that are still kicking around are World's Best in Sacramento on Watt Avenue.
World's Best. That's
World's
right.
Best.
Don.
A1 Comics, three locations, I
There's
think.
3 locations at A1 Comics. That's correct. The one I'm thinking of is the big one over there on Roseville. Which one?
It looks like James said Ken's Comics, but Ken moved to store to Florida.
Oh no, James,
Wow.
that's quite a. You're gonna trek out to Florida from California
Yeah.
for Free Comic Book Day. I hope you
I
saw
thought
a
I
lot.
was making a big move.
That's a that's a big that's a big trek over.
Wow.
Refresh this board, make sure it's working. Is it working? What have I done?
You want a kind of a big question for yourself, Jason?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So, of course, I've been going through Panda Days, and that was, one of your kind of early works and stuff.
Sure.
And now here we are, Genesis, and you've been in the comic business for, I guess we're almost coming up on 30 years now, right? Pretty close.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What particular technique in your style do you think you've improved on the most in that time?
Are you talking about like my art style?
Yeah.
I would have to say just things make a little bit more sense when I'm putting the pieces together. When
Mhm.
you're drawing, you always, for me, I start with the head and then I kind of build around it.
Right.
But not all the time the pieces seem to fit right when in my earlier days,
Yeah.
no matter how many anatomy classes I took. But yeah, now things seem to just really, I kind of got a more idea of how things fit as far as doing perspectives on things. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying I'm perfect. I'm not going to
Right.
say that. But I think also my style has changed enough where the things that I'm not perfect at kind of get hidden with my style, or I guess the details and stuff. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of weird. Nah, it works. Okay, it works.
Well, we artists and creators are always our toughest critics
Yeah, that's true.
because it really is. I mean, I talk to my daughter who's an artist and that kind of thing, and it's sort of like she's like, you can go ahead and say what's wrong with it, Dad, and I'm like, okay, well, here, and here, and she's like, yep.
That's just what I thought.
We just know that that's it. But we also at the same time know that if we have a creator looking at it, right? We know we're going to get some good feedback. Whereas somebody else who's seeing it like, oh my god, it's so good and stuff, and you're like, well, okay.
I think
We just
when I'm drawing when I'm drawing for you, I'm drawing for creators and the writers and stuff. I always kind of freak out about everything I draw for them because I'm like, oh, are they going to just totally like hate this? Is this not because
yeah,
I'm trying to like. It's almost like I'm trying to kind of mind read a little bit, but at the same time, I also want to throw also my own flair at it because
right,
I know that's what they're looking for. If they wanted someone else's style, they'd get them, but they wanted my style. So kind of interject my own style and stuff into it, but also try and be true to what the writing is at the same time. And a lot of times
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're gonna, I don't know. But luckily, those ones that I've done that on are the ones that they love the most. So
Yeah. So I guess that kind of brings up the next question. Do you feel like that you're harder when you're drawing somebody else's story, or are you harder when you're drawing your own story? Or is it just equal tension all the time?
I'm definitely harder when I'm drawing for someone else. Like I'm harder on myself and what I'm doing. Um, because when I'm drawing for myself, I know that I'm just I know anything I draw, I'm gonna be fine with. I'm not gonna like fire myself.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives me more flexibility in my drawing. It kind of just I'm looser, I guess. It's like, and so that in that loose style of not fearing that every little line is going to be a potential mess up.
Yeah.
It kind of gives it another flair to it that I really enjoy. So
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, coming from a writer perspective, like if I'm writing for myself, if I'm like really writing stuff, I tend to go through a lot more revisions. But when I'm writing for comics, once I learned how and stuff, and I knew the artist that I was working with, it just became a lot easier for some reason, just a lot freer, like really liberating and stuff. I guess because I know the storyline going in here, and I know that I'm going to give it to a professional and stuff like that, who's kind of probably go through the same kind of like inner voices that you're going through and that kind of thing. Like,
all those
oh man, I
voices.
don't want to screw this up, that kind of thing. So I really trust my artists when I turn a script over to them. And I think the more you work with a particular artist and stuff, you start seeing what they're going to do. So you're choosing as a writer the right kinds of words to kind of
Right,
just give a general sense, but not so super detailed that you become like this annoying writer.
right. No, I know exactly what you mean. So I run the comic book studios, Scattered Studios, and a lot of clients will come in and bring in their stories and stuff, and we have our artists, and I always tell the clients, because I'll look at the scripts first. And hold on one second.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to make sure no one walks in while I'm streaming and then catches me off guard. Um, so when I always tell the clients to try and keep it between 4 to 5 panels max on a page,
Yeah.
because it allows for the artist to really uh, do some beautiful artwork. The more panels, the smaller you got to draw, and maybe fit more details in a smaller panel. It starts getting a little, it doesn't give the art, to me, being an artist, I guess, give the artwork room to breathe.
Yeah.
But there are artists that I've worked with now, like Sarge, where he actually thrives on more panels. I don't know if he knows this, but the more panels I give him per page, he's able to just his art style works better with more panels. So
Interesting.
I actually changed the way I would write my script for him based on that. I was like, okay, so when he has more less panels, it's like too much room for him to breathe. It's like so more panels works better for him. So I guess it goes just with whatever style is, and I'm sure that's what you're talking about. You write knowing what your artist is stronger at.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because I was thinking about, if I recall correctly, like the first issue of Agents of Shield has like hardly like any dialogue whatsoever, but you end up with these really gorgeous like splash pages followed with some close-ups and that kind of thing of the infiltration scene of getting in the headquarters. I think like the first 6 to 8 pages, there's like no dialogue at
Oh wow!
all, and it's just all this artwork and this real, kind of gorgeous sequential kind of thing. Then I've also seen, and I can't remember the name of the series, that I bought it some years ago from Dark Horse, I think is what it was, but it was very, very noir. And there are certain pages where it's just like it's all filled with, I want to say it's almost like 9 or 12 panels on one page. And it's just like, it's almost like looking at film strip, just
Really? Well,
seeing.
I'm just trying to see how would you. So was it 4 layers of 3 panels?
Yeah, something like, yeah. So it was like 12, like on one page. It was just like this, just watching like one person, almost like seeing them go through like a camera in the alley or something like that. It's like, think what was happening there. And I'm like, wow, that's a really kind of bold kind of thing there. But it's in certain conditions where I feel like, that something like that works. And it seemed to work for this particular intense moment where it's almost as if you're looking at a surveillance camera and watching this figure kind of like walk past the camera and that kind of thing.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah. I'll try to remember the title and see if I can get that to you.
I've seen one of my favorite artists, Chris Bacalo or Bacalo, depending on who you ask, but he did something very similar to that, where it was like I think it might have been 12, but it was 9. It was like 3 little panels all the way down the page, and the way he tackled it, it wasn't that there was a lot of detail in every panel. It was like just a head on one, maybe a hand on another panel, but it told the story. And I was like, wow, I really like that. I'm going to take that idea. One of these days, I'm going to make a bunch of little panels and just do like that kind of a thing. And
hey, we all do it, man. You can't be a good writer unless you read, right? And you can't be, a good comic book artist unless you like read other comics and stuff like that.
we're all inspired by different people. And, they call them, they're the masters and pros for a reason. So you learn from them, and you learn how they do. But yeah, I would think that 9 to 12 panels, you're probably not having much dialogue going on, though. It's got to be just a single image or something like that to make it work. Otherwise, the word bubble's going to fill the whole panel.
And then you really couldn't publish it with Amazon.
Yeah. They're like, nope. Yeah, that's crazy.
I actually was thinking we should do something like this. I know I'm wearing Marvel here, this shirt.
You know what?
We should do something like this with Scattered.
Let me enlarge you here so I can see. Oh, okay, yeah.
Just Scattered, have our different characters and stuff. I mean, we've done a poster like that before.
Yeah, you remember. You used to have to set it up for me. Those were the floor decals.
Freaking floor decal.
Yeah, the big floor decals that said Scatter and it had a character from every title, and they just wrapped around the whole thing. And I was bollocks at doing that. You had to go and every convention I would find you. I'm like, Keith, hey buddy, what are you doing right now?
I know.
You want to help me with this?
It literally only took me like 30 minutes to set up. So I'm kind of like waiting around and stuff, and you're still putting all your stuff up, and you're like, hey, here you go, buddy. Here's the.
And I went from, will you help me with this, to here.
Yeah, I know.
And I would go set up, and you're struggling on the ground, getting it all done. But it always looked great.
Oh, I know. And I always took pride because I could always get it laid down with like no creases. That was always a trick with that thing. I mean, even though the material was really heavy and stuff, I mean, if you didn't like pull it just right, you ended up with this like big crease down the middle and stuff like that, or off to the side. And I always managed to do it and just smooth it out really good. Yeah, I looked really foolish at Lodi Con. I know that. I mean, I looked like I was like,
Yeah, no, you're that was great.
So ridiculous.
I remember one show I went and did. I can't remember which one it was, but you weren't there, and I had to put it down myself, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. It was just bubbles in it, ripples, and at one point I just kind of was like, whatever, just.
Man, those are great though. I mean, those are some pretty awesome decals. So we should do like an updated like shirt of our characters or something.
Well, you could do that awesome. For sure. Yeah. Let me actually write that
for shirt.
No, for shirts. Yeah.
And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like per se like new art. You can do like clips from some of our latest issues, put it in there, scattered, bam, there you go.
Yeah, because we had a Dr. Dream, I think, in there, but I would love to have a different
Yeah.
image that might be a little bit more updated.
Yeah, we can throw Alice in there too.
Oh yeah, we should.
Mm.
I'm trying to. I'm sorry. My mind's starting to turn. Trying to
I know. I'm terrible about that. I'm like,
starting to think about what what your next story idea is going to be that I'll be drawing. So, and I was like, I wonder if it'll be something with Alice. I don't know.
we'll talk.
Can't get nothing out of this one, guys. These lips are sealed. All right, so 15 minutes left in the campaign.
All right.
136 backers strong, everybody.
I want to say something else about these scattered campaigns, particularly Jason's campaigns. You're not just going to get books and artwork and stuff. You're going to get some of the coolest swag and extras like ever. And,
You like
that
the
might be
swag,
part of the
huh?
reason why it's so popular. You're not only getting a good story and good art, but you're going to get all kinds of really cool, like postcards and stickers and, bookmarks and all
Oh.
those kinds of things. And it's just really awesome to open that up. It's like Christmas in a box.
Christmas in I love that. I'll record this for my next campaign. Have you do a little commercial. You ready for Christmas in a box? One of the things I
Yeah.
really like to get my packages is the nice big sizable prints. I always think those are really nice. And so that's why on my campaigns I always like make sure they're like 9x6 or like a pretty large size, if not like a backboard size, because I like that. So I'm assuming other people do. Watch, they're like, we want the small stuff. Why don't you always give us these big things? But thank you, Keith. I'm glad you appreciate it. And
Oh, absolutely.
I know you always take a cool picture of everything when it comes in. I always like that. I'm like, all right, there it is. There's the stuff. Wow. Yeah, I know.
Well, and plus, anytime you do these campaigns, you send them out and stuff, and maybe you send a survey. But like when I send stuff, and sometimes when I send it overseas, like I've sent stuff to England before, and I'm like, I hope it makes it, and then you get that visual confirmation. I'm like, yes,
Yes,
it's
true.
a little bit of a triumph.
It made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, and overseas, right? Well, especially a couple years ago, it was really, you weren't sure what was going to happen with the overseas stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we got going on. My next book that I'm actually working on right now is Shadowhunters #6. It's I think there's 4 pages left to do, and it's done. And so probably see that one maybe in October. Do a campaign for that one.
Is Frederick Allison still do colors for you, or
Federico?
Federico, or not Federico?
Frederick Allison is an artist.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought he was doing your colors. That's all right.
Yes. So in Shadowhunters #6, Federico is doing the colors.
Okay.
And in fact, he did the colors for GENISIS #2.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're all keeping him busy. So 12 minutes ago, I'm getting nervous. I feel like it's like countdown to New Year's or something.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Let me check the chat, see if anyone's saying anything. What's going on out there, guys? I wonder if your daughter's watching. She's always watching the live streams, the drawing ones.
Yeah.
Yet she never sends me any artwork.
She's been in a little bit of an art lull, a little bit, just because she's been busy with school mostly.
Oh, well, school, okay. Well, we can make allowances for that then. That's good. She's concentrating on school. I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah.
It's always
she's been doing some sketching though, a little bit here and there and that kind of thing. So I saw one of her sketches, and boy, the one thing that I could never do in art in my years in art, because I always did like wildlife scenes, science fiction, spaceships, Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Wait. What? You're an artist too?
What? I was in high school, yeah.
I don't think you ever stopped being an artist.
Well, okay.
I need to see some of your drawings, man. What's going on here?
All right, all right. Anyway, I'll see if I
That's
can dig
where
them out.
she
I mean,
gets
they're
her.
all packed up right now.
So that's where she gets her talent. Of
Well,
course.
I don't know about that because see, here's the thing, Jason. I could never draw people. I could I could disfigure them, I can give them like horns and wings and things like that, and then they look, cool. But she can actually draw people like really good, and so I know she doesn't get that from me because I couldn't even do that myself. But anyway,
Oh, I'm really curious. Um, yeah, we're gonna have some chats after this. Uh,
oh boy.
let's see. We got 10 minutes. Oh my goodness, 10 minutes. Ah. So once again, the final 10 minutes for the Genesis #2 campaign. I am joined here by Keith Carmona, famous comic book writer and publisher and creator, or I say creator, writer, creator, publisher, all the above.
Yeah, about all of
Uh,
that.
and apparently, the man to get your books into Barnes and Nobles, he's the guy to talk to. Not that
Yeah,
he'll get
absolutely.
them in himself, but he'll have the information of how to do it.
I'm going to start charging if you really want me to lay down a floor decal for you, okay? Because that's, I haven't
Should
done that
never
in a
have said
while. I may
anything.
need some help getting up.
See, I knew it. I should never have said anything because what other do you have any events this year coming up?
No, like I said,
It's
I'm going to
moving,
go
right?
back to Silver Age again, the following year. I mean, it's a great group that puts on that convention. They're really nice people. They actually do conventions throughout Idaho and throughout California, actually. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what their main site is. It's Colossus Girl. Colossus Girl Entertainment, and they do like 5 or 6 conventions. Their big one is Gem Con up in Idaho and up in Boise. So they do like Boise, Oregon, California. They just kind of make that, that loop there and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Wow.
definitely check them out. They're great people, great to work with. If you're looking to get a table, they do everything they can to make sure that they keep it affordable for you, that it's easy for you to, to make table. I know that's a phrase that, we kind of, bat around a lot, but if you make table and you make a lot of fans, you get a lot of emails and stuff like that. I mean, that's a way to build your fan base, and they try to make it as affordable as possible for independent creators to really do that. So
No, that's yeah. It is important to make table.
yeah,
Oh, you know, so you're especially if you can do it early on during the show, so you're not sweating the whole time.
that's right. Well, and I think that's part of the reason why they do a 2-day convention. And I think one of the things I found out about that Silver Age one is you don't get the same crowd on Sunday that you do on Saturday. So it's not like, I mean, some people come back for 2 days because they've
Okay,
got
so
like separate like cosplay events or gaming events or things like that. So they just get the weekend pass. But for the people going up and down the roads and stuff, just different people. And honestly, my sales between those 2 days were pretty equal. So
that's really cool, actually,
yeah,
because that way, let's say you have, and this actually was my experience a lot at conventions. Is it would be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
yeah,
And Friday was okay. People coming in, they're excited to be at the show. I get some of that excitement, sales, and then Saturday would always be, for whatever reason, there'd be more people there, but I would get less sales. But Sunday was always my big sale day. I don't know what I think Saturday they were going to get their celebrity signings, or spending the bigger guys stuff. And then
right.
Sunday it was like, what do I got left over? All right, I'll get that guy's book now. But I always got that Sunday money. I always like that. But if you have a different crowd, like this would be the same crowd all weekend basically.
Yeah.
But if you have each day is a different crowd, that's great, because if you do have a bad Saturday, okay, tomorrow is a whole new day, it's a whole new crowd. So
Yeah.
who knows?
I had that happen to me twice. Once in ChicoCon one year, and then once in SAC, where it's just like Sunday. You saw this guy with just like armful of comics. It's like, okay, I get that, and they just go around and they just got this huge bundle of indie comics. I'm like, okay, now there's somebody who likes stories, who likes indie art, and he's just gonna collect every like first issue that he can and stuff. So I had that happen in SAC one time. I had that happen on a Sunday up in Chico one time. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. I was just looking at the time. We're 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Ah! Okay, sorry. So, have you seen the? Have you watched your campaigns like go all the way to the very end of it, like the last minute?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you seen the little celebration thing that they do in the end and everything. Okay.
Oh yeah. And
Won't be new to you.
guilty pleasure. I'm supposed to be teaching, but let me get a minute. Kind of go over here, take a look.
Girl, hold on, class. There's something that needs my attention. You go in the hallway.
That's right.
Here
Dude,
it
I just
goes.
don't announce. I keep them busy over there. I'm like going.
Now,
almost there.
Now, do you have a built-in fan base since you teach like creative writing classes? Do you have like fans
Yeah. I
already
mean,
built into your classes, or
it's. I
you
think
kind of
that's one of the tough
separated?
things, right? Because with kids these days, they need
Kids
like
these
that
days.
constant. I know they need that constant feed because they're like online all the time. So you almost have to like bombard them, and it's weird because I feel like I'm like pestering them like way too much and stuff. They're like, no, I need to see like your video like 20 times. I need you to update like all the time. It's like, oh, dude,
Oh, wow! So they demand a. They're a lot
I
more.
know they're so demanding.
I
But it's kind of there a little bit here and there. I think some I've gotten some fans from your campaigns and stuff, some from James. You get a lot, at least for me anyway. I get a lot making appearances at the cons,
yeah.
and
I
just
know I need
getting
to start
the emails out there. Yeah.
It's been a
So
while, but I know that at some point I need to get back out in the public. But I kind of like my whole my little.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get you back out there, man. I
I know.
mean,
I might start off. I'll probably start off small. Do like comic book shops or something. You know,
yeah,
just go real slow before I go back into
because
conventions.
Because listen, where I'm moving, you actually know one of the guys who's going to be putting on, because every year OhanaCon shows up at the Twin Lake Casino, which is like 10 minutes from me where I'm moving.
What's HawanaCon?
OhanaCon,
HawanaCon?
they run like all kinds of conventions like all throughout like California and stuff like that. They do San Jose, they do like Porterville, they
See, this
do,
is what I'm saying.
like I
I've
said,
been doing I've been doing indie comics for what, almost 30 years now, and I'm still learning about stuff.
yeah, I had mentioned OhanaCon to you before, and you said you knew the guy. So, anyway,
I'm also old, and I may have said that, and it's just not coming to me right now. But
well, you said he was a good guy. So, anyway,
oh, what was his name?
I don't remember. You didn't tell me his name.
Dang. I bet I know who he is.
Yeah, you probably do. But anyway, that might be a reason for you to come up and visit and stuff. Because again, he keeps his tables really low too. I was checking it out.
And with, I guess, well, how far are you moving to?
I'm moving up to Humboldt County. I won't say specifically
Yeah.
where, but
My address is 375.
right, exactly. But yeah, I'll be moving up there, and I was looking for places to sell books and stuff. There's a lot of independent booksellers up there, which is cool. And like I said, OhanaCon has a stop there on their tour. I mean, they go like everywhere. They've got a convention like every week almost. But yeah, I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
And they're pretty low key also. They're kind of smaller too. Colossus Girl is a little bit bigger, but again, they're more of a medium-sized one. Ohana tends to be a little bit smaller, but they're like everywhere. So,
okay. I was
all
just
right, where are we
a
at?
little bit distracted because we are just about 1 minute to go here.
1 minute. Get those last minute pledges in, everybody. Come on now.
All right, so this is it, everyone. The last minute. Last minute. I don't know how quickly people can hit the button and get their pledge in, but this is your last chance to get your pledge in. I'll put this up here, right here.
Yeah.
And 45 seconds. Oh, look at the little timer has turned red now. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds. I wish I had like some kind of countdown. Oh well.
Yeah, you got any copyright-free countdown music?
Yeah. 18 seconds. We are now 16 seconds. There's no way people can push the button that fast. Or can they? There's your challenge.
Yeah.
Make your final
Get the last one in before the doors close.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Woo! All right. That was beautiful. So it is.
That was awesome.
It is done. With 136 backers, I will be making an update for those on Kickstarter. You know how we do the updates. And what's this? Oh, that's you. And sorry. So I will be making an update, letting you guys know of where the campaign is going as far as we have to do surveys next. That's the next thing. We're going to be sending out surveys. I think right now Kickstarter is going to be collecting the revenue, and when that's all done, then I can send out the surveys. Once that's done, we can start sending out digital, and then, well, anyway, it's a process, but we will get it all done for you. Absolutely. So thank you, everybody that participated. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all your love and support. Keith, thank you for joining me for this last hour.
Absolutely.
It was an unexpected pleasure, and I'm sure it probably saved this stream because I'd probably just be kind of mumbling to myself without you.
Everybody, check out all the links that Jason's going to drop for everybody we mentioned and talked about and things like that. And Jason, I owe you a couple links too. So
yes, you give me some links. Keith, is there any last minute things you want to plug before we sign up?
Yeah, not really that I want to plug. Keep supporting indie comics. We seem like we have a campaign every month coming up and that kind of thing. Go check out scattercomics.com. Check out Jason's site, all the live drawings, the animation with Benny Jordan. Just so much content, so much stuff.
I don't even have to say nothing now. You said it all for me. You're my co-host now. All right, you guys. So I guess with that, thank you, Keith, for stopping by. I wish you all the luck too in your moving situation. And I ditto everything he just said. Support indie comics. Thank you guys for all the love and support. We will see you tomorrow, Friday at 4 p.m. PST for a live drawing stream. Peace. Love doing that.
And make sure to check out the Patreon.
Just want to thank everybody for watching it all the way to this point. If you can, like, share, subscribe, comment below.